as of us recording, and as of when you're watching this bonus episode, the Montreal Canadiens have not played a game. They have not played a game since very, very early on in 2022, and it doesn't look as if they'll be playing again until January 12th. But because of the fluid situation that is COVID in the National Hockey League, who knows? Maybe there have been more players added to the Montreal Canadiens COVID protocol from when we were recording this to right now. Who knows what could happen? So with all these changes and all the additions to COVID protocol and the postponements, we mentioned in our full episode earlier this week that the Canadiens aren't even going to be playing at home in a while. That's one team. Imagine so many other teams in the NHL going through stuff like this. What's that going to mean for the rest of the regular season schedule? Is the NHL going to be able to finish its season on time? Rick.
Well, I mean, you want to take a positive with the negative. With the Olympic break, materializing the way it is, and all the teams trying to, in that 2.5 week span, try to reschedule games so that they can play that full season. I mean, nobody would have thought we would be in this situation where games are being postponed left and right, and we're not done with it yet. But the somewhat of the bonus, if you will, is we have that period of time at the Olympic break that the NHL is going to try and find a way to get these games done so that they can ultimately play that full season that they continue to talk about wanting to do. And there's still some gray areas as we see the COVID cases popping up each and every day, whether or not it's going to, throw more snags into postponement of games and not being able to get that 82 game schedule. So there's a little bit of a crapshoot here, if you will, of, okay, what does the future look like? We have a little bit of a window of opportunity with the Olympic break with some dates that are freed up to allow some of these postponed games to be played. And, time will tell, because as we all know, it's a day-by-day thing.
Andrew.
Yeah, I think that they're very committed to getting through it. You look at the new ESPN and TNT deals, they are very committed to honoring those deals in the first year that they're active. They've got this 3-week Olympic break to fit things into. I wouldn't be surprised if they delay the playoffs a couple weeks just to fit everything in. They're going to play every game this season. I'm very sure of that. I mean, COVID is spread throughout, yeah, but eventually everybody's gonna have had it, right? And eventually you think that you can't catch it 3-4 times, you hope, right? So I think that they're gonna get through it. I don't know when it's gonna be, if they'll need to push the playoffs a little bit, but I assume that they're gonna be able to fit a lot into that Olympic break. The big question is gonna be, how tightly packed are the games going to be? I know that the Canadiens, after this break that they have, are going to have to play 8 games in 13 days. That's a lot, and there's going to be a lot more of that down the stretch. It's probably going to feel like the half season that they played a little while ago, where it's very compressed and players aren't going to be very happy about it. So my question is, looking into the playoffs, how many injuries are teams going to be dealing with heading into the first round? That's going to be the big question.
Yeah, at some point, the NHL is going to have to decide what's more important to them, getting in all 82 regular season games or ending the playoffs in July or early enough that they can start. They want to get back on a regular NHL schedule, right? They want to get back like training camp starting late September and season starting October and playoffs ending in June. It's whether they're going to have to weigh what's more important, getting in the 82 games or getting back on a regular schedule. At some point, I can see them, maybe if COVID numbers keep going the way they're having, to cut back to maybe 75 games or something like that, as I think they really want to try and get the schedule back next season, back to a regular schedule. The other thing that's going to be interesting, as you mentioned, all these Canadiens games being postponed at the Bell Center because of no fans, and now similar situation in Toronto. They don't want to play in front of no fans. I mean, that's going to hurt the bottom line. And I wonder at some point if they look at moving the Canadiens' home games and the Leafs' home games somewhere in the States, or somewhere where they can have some kind of a gate revenue, and move the Canadian teams to somewhere and have them play almost like a little bubble for them and have them play their home games somewhere else, because the players don't want to play in front of an empty rinks, and the owners don't, because it's hockey related revenue is what dictates the salary cap and how much escrow they pay and everything else. So nobody wants to play in front of empty rinks. And I think that's another thing that we need to look at moving forward, is that if the Canadiens' home games end up being played somewhere else than Montreal.
I can see the headline now. Stu Cowan says Montreal Canadiens should play at TD Garden.
Yeah. I don't know if the Canadiens' new VP of comms is going to like that statement.
Well, they got it. It's all about generating revenue, right? And if they can get 10,000 fans in a rink somewhere else, as opposed to none at the Bell Center, it's hockey related revenue. I mean, I think they're going to have to start looking at things if this ban on having fans at games continues, because they don't. I mean, Jeff Molson played enough games last season in front of an empty rink at the Bell Center, I think, for the rest of his life.
I think it's a bad mindset if the NHL is thinking on the bottom line dollars and cents versus the well-being of each and every one that's involved in the game, family, at the rink and off the rink, because there's anybody that's been around or has heard stories about health and the well-being, that to me is the bottom line. The hockey is really secondary, and hopefully they don't prioritize that as, yeah, let's make as much money as we can, but we have a lot of people that are sick because of it.
Yeah, well, a lot of people would just respond to that by saying it's a business and money trumps at the end of the day. So there's probably a good chance the NHL will prioritize dollars and cents, especially them being more reliant on hockey-related revenue, gate revenue, I should say, excuse me, compared more to the other Big Four North American professional sports leagues. I wager a lot of money that the NHL is going to bet more on being more about money than other people's well-being.
But Julian, the NHLPA is thinking the same thing. I mean, these players are losing a lot of money in escrow payments, and they're losing money when the salary cap doesn't go up. So it's a business. It's a business on both sides. I mean, people, I think, forget that a lot of times. Pro sports is a business first and foremost, from the management side and team owner side, and from the player side. It's a business, and it's all about money at the end of the day.
Yep, that's what it is. And that concludes this bonus episode from us at Hockey Inside Out. Visit hockeyinsideout.com to check out our full episode. Subscribe to the Hockey Inside Out newsletter. Subscribe to the YouTube page as well, so you can check out more bonus episodes, more fun stuff, more full episodes. And thanks for tuning in for this week's episode.